Hey, this is Christine, your DIY craftaholic. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome to you if you are new. I have lemon DIY inspirations for you today. This is part one of a two-part series. My next one will be a part of the Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy collab that's coming up on May 28th. Sure you tune in for that. So let's jump into the video. I apologize for how nasal I sound in this video. It's my sinusitis season, to put it lightly. So for DIY number one, I'm using this square plaque and one ply from this napkin that I got from Dollar General in January, I believe. And I took some white acrylic paint and I gave it one coat. I left the back unpainted, and you'll see why in a minute. And then I took some of this yellow paint that I got from the Dollar Tree and I painted the borders. And I didn't like how bright it was, so I took some white paint along with a brush and I just dried brush some white on top of it just to tone it down a bit. And then I cut down the napkin. I removed the back piece and then I applied some Mod Podge. I am using the Dishwasher Safe Mod Podge. At this point, you can use any Mod Podge that you feel like. I just use this because it's what I had at hand. And I applied a generous amount, and then I placed the napkin down and just use my finger gently to apply it. And then this silicone applicator, that's also from the Dollar Tree. And then I just took a little bit more of the Mod Podge and placed that out over it. Now I got this buffalo check vinyl from the Dollar Tree and I cut down a piece, and this is what I was talking about, that why I did not paint the back, because I wanted to cover it with the vinyl, because this is going to be reversible. And then I took a piece of sandpaper and I just sanded off the excess edge. And then I cut out the lemon from another ply from the napkin. And I'm going to be using some of the Mod Podge. This is the last of the regular Mod Podge that I have. And I'm using that to apply the lemon on top. And then I just took some more Mod Podge and just applied that over it. Now I tried to, I dried it with the heat gun, but I had to be very careful because this is plastic and I didn't want it to melt. So I held the heat gun far away and then dried it. And this little reversible double-sided coaster is all done. Now we're moving on to DIY number two. I had this from last year and I got this from the Dollar Tree when it was $1. Now it's $1.25. So I removed the words "This is us," applied some heat and my scraper tool and just removed the excess. And then sanded it down. I tried to remove the paper, but all of it wasn't coming off, so I just decided to leave it alone. And here I'm taking this Farmers Market calendar. I think this is 2021 or 2020, I could be wrong. And I removed the lemonade sheet, and this was perfect. The separated sections just fit perfectly on top of my little board plaque. And I removed the word that says lemonade. I applied some Mod Podge to this and then I just placed the sign over it. And if you notice, a little piece was hanging off from both edges, but that was okay because I know I would be removing it. So I took the sanding block and sanded that off, and my squeegee, and just made sure that it was laying flat. And again, I applied some heat because, of course, my heat gun is my little assistant. Now, for the frame, I took some of this Waverly plaster. Now, I didn't realize that the frame itself was so shiny. So as I was putting on the paint, it was just saying, not today, Christine. So I had to wipe it off and then applied some Mod Podge and dried it with the heat on. And then once I got it dried, then I applied the paint, and it held up quite well. Now that's something you can do if you're going to be applying paint to surfaces that are very smooth. just apply some Mod Podge to it first and then apply the paint afterwards. So once my frame was all painted and done and ready, so for this part, this is the top part of the calendar sheet, and I'm just removing the words, some parts of the words, and you'll see what I do with that here. So I just cut that out and again used the Mod Podge and applied the strips. Now what it says, when life gives you lemons, make some lemonade. And then I took my buffalo check ribbon. Oh, I love this ribbon so much. I bought this on Amazon, 50 yards for $5+, and I always brag about this ribbon. There's a link in my description box if you're interested. And this one is done. Now we're on to DIY number 3. This is a sign or a plaque I'm reusing, and I'm just cutting off the canvas from the frame. And after I removed the canvas from the frame, this is what it looked like. Now, I wasn't too bothered about some of the staples not coming all the way out, because that is going to be covered. So I trimmed off the little excess from the canvas, and then I flipped it over. And then I took some Waverly Antique Wax and I stained the frame. And then I'm going to be placing a piece of the buffalo check vinyl on top of the canvas. So I cut that down, measured it and cut it down. So I'll just pause here to say welcome back to my awesome subscribers. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you so much. And to those stopping by for the first time, welcome as well. Where have you been all this time? But I'm so happy that you decided to click on my video and watch today. Here on my channel, I do budget-friendly DIYs of all kinds, which take the form of dupes, look for less, thrift flips, and sometimes when the opportunity presents itself, I'll do Dollar Tree hauls. If you like budget-friendly DIYs like these and have not yet subscribed, I would love if you would consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Hit it again and select all so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload new videos. So after I place the vinyl over the canvas, I set that aside, and then I'm just applying some Mod Podge over the frame, and I dried it. So once I had that done, so I took some tacky glue as well as some hot glue for quick hold, and I applied that to the outside of the frame, and then I placed it on top of my little canvas piece here, and then I used some clamps to hold it down. And this is a piece of fabric that I got from Walmart. I believe it's earlier this year as well, and I just cut out what looks like a little lemon, and when I was satisfied with the size, I said this is how it's gonna go. Then I took this green felt and I cut a stem and a piece of a leaf. And then I'm just using some glue stick or stick glue and applying that to the top, and then just holding, that will hold both pieces together. And then I applied some at the back. I decided to use this and not the hot glue because of course this is vinyl and I didn't want it to melt. And I believe that would have made it look smoother and more finished rather than the hot glue. And here I'm doing the same thing with the stem and the leaf. And then I decided to go around with some jute twine, and this is where I use the hot glue because of course this will hold it in place better than the stick glue. And this is all done, well, almost. Then I took my scissors and I just trimmed off the excess, and I believe this is done. There's nothing else that no, that's not true. I turned it over and it needed to look a little bit more finished, so I took some craft sticks and I just cut them in two and glued them on, and it's done. Now guys, you will have to let me know which one of these DIYs today was your favorite. The lemonade sign was my favorite, but that's just me. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet done so, and also like, share, and leave me a comment down below. I do enjoy reading your comments. This little beaded garland, I will show how I made this in my next video. I just use this here for decor purposes. And this is just showing you how you can use this little two-sided coaster. And here are all the projects. And if you would like to connect with me outside of YouTube or help to support my channel, you can find my Buy Me a Coffee link in my link tree in the description box below. And stay tuned for my next video on May 28th or before that. But until then, you can watch this video right here or this playlist. And as always, guys, stay safe until next time. Bye.